it back, pause. Let me say it this way, take gifts from us. Put in work, chef, nothing like them lip runners. The internet, they thugs, in life, they like gunner. Lord, don't let them fake J dwell among us. Take them from their hate and awake them from their slumber. Before you kick them out of the faith, like punters. I pray they okay, see the light before the thunder ends. When they go low, I go to the most high. Man, they hate chef, I don't even know why. Why they mad though, they don't even know I. It's from the inside, they battling with pride. When they go low, I go to the most high. Man, they hate chef, I don't even know why. Why they mad though, they don't even know I. It's from the inside, they battling with pride. Damn, why they so emotional? This truth starting to feel like it's the Oprah show. And we supposed to be brothers with the open quotes. But niggas fighting for the power like they close to ghosts. And that's why I keep the tall me under the tall me. And chef like the Navy, more like the Army. And shout out to the priest, see he tried to warn me that brothers front too, and they never was for me. Why? I thought that we could all be friends. Then I thought again, and I went and bought a Benz, the S500, 2024, no extra miles on it. I'm blessed and while anointed. That's why I keep my eyes on the heels of Yahweh, cause he's the designer, though the devil wears Prada. In a blue dress, I never dance with her, I tell her I'm too blessed. All praises to the Father. When they go low, I go to the most high. Man, they hate chef, I don't even know why. Why they mad though, they don't even know I. It's from the inside, they battling with pride. When they go low, I go to the most high. Man, they hate chef, I don't even know why. Why they mad though, they don't even know I. It's from the inside, they battling with pride.
Abanawa, Shabashamayim, Kwadash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwatka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazar, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Lathananawa, Lacham, Kal, Yawam, Wasalachnawa, Chaubwathnawa, Kasalachnawa, Chaubwathinawa, Wala'a, Tabia Anawa, Manasaya 1, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa Allah, Wa Thapa Arath, La I Walamyam, Aman.
All right, y'all. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Definitely got to start by giving all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, for allowing us to see this day. Right, definitely good to be back in front of y'all to bring out the word, not only to hopefully edify the people, but also edify ourselves. Right, any teacher that teaches should always, I ain't gonna say always, but a lot of the times, whatever lesson may be about, you should definitely be cut. You know what I'm saying? You should definitely be cut, whether it's something that you used to do, whether it's something that you're currently doing, or something that you just recently stopped, right? So just praying that the Most High edify the people, through the videos, through the word, things of that nature. So, hey, definitely good to see y'all people.
Shalom, everybody. Back at it again. Happy Sabbath to everybody. Hope you guys have a good Sabbath. Enjoy your day. Also, pray that everybody give glory and honor to the Most High, because he put air in our lungs again, and pray that the Most High continue to put His word in our mouths and put the Spirit in our minds, so we can continue to move forward and get better in this truth. It's a walk. It's not a cakewalk. It's not a race. It's definitely a marathon. But in this marathon, take your time to walk in a righteous path so we don't follow off and trying to rush to get to the finish line because you don't know what you're going to end up with. So just take your time and send up prayers to every brothers and sisters out here, not just in L.O.I, but the whole community of Israel. So I'm ready to go here, brother. Bring it out.
All right. So y'all can see, right? I had a Rubik's Cube, man, right there, right? For the thumbnail. Did that for a reason, right? Because a lot of people think that they know how to communicate, right? They think they really fully got a grasp on it and understand it. You know, some because they can speak well, some because I open up. You know what I'm saying? I'm open. I can talk to anybody, so on and so forth. Right. But when you really think about it, and as we're gonna go through today, and we're gonna see number one, different types of communication, and we just gonna go into the definition. We're gonna watch a couple videos, right? And I was getting cut like as I was doing this lesson. Because I was just literally I'm scrolling, the Facebook reels or whatever, and I'm saving videos at the videos, and I'm like, I'm gonna bring this out, I'm gonna bring this out, because I was definitely my spirit was definitely convicted. Right. So we just gonna go straight into the oh my bad. I gotta share my screen first before I do that. All right, so we're gonna go straight into the definition of the word communication. All right, so because communication alone won't cause you to understand. You can open your mouth at any point, right? So let's go ahead to the Britannica definition, right? Actually, no, I don't want that one. I don't know why they don't never pop up with Webster's first, but it is what it is. All right, you can just read that right there. You can see that. So I ain't even got to click on it.
All right. It says communication is commonly defined as the transmission of information. Its precise definition is disputed, and there are disagreements about whether unintentional or failed transmissions are included and whether communication not only transmits meaning but also creates it.
Mm-hmm.
Models of communication are simplified overviews of its main components and their interactions.
All right, you can stop right there. Right. So it's just basically transmission of information, right? So I'm gonna go back up, right? And I'm gonna type in something else, right? I'm gonna go to types of communication, right? And you can read these.
All right. You got nonverbal communication,
Mm-hmm.
body language cues, visual communication, information transfer,
Mm-hmm.
intrapersonal communication, internal dialogue, verbal communication, spoken exchanges,
Mm-hmm.
written communication, text-based messages, interpersonal communication between individuals.
All right. So and there's one that I'm gonna add, right? Which it could probably fall under written communication, right? To some degree, is spiritual communication, right? I'm gonna add that because a lot of times we don't even realize like spiritual communication can actually be added in all of these, right? It could be nonverbal, right? Whether they're looking at you and you're not portraying a person that's of an upright spirit, right? You're doing worldly things, you're being wicked, you're breaking commandments, right? Or you could verbally be doing that same thing, right? It could be written, right? It's clear on the page, but you don't have an understanding of what it's saying, right? So there's different types of communications that's out there, right? And like I said, Lord willing, throughout this lesson, we learn exactly what it is, right? So we're going to look up this other word, right? Which most of us should know, right? Comprehending, or let's just go there. All right, so go ahead, read that.
All right, comprehensive. Complete, including all or nearly all elements or aspects of something.
All right, which means you have an understanding of everything that's being said, everything that's being talked about, right? And a lot of us, we be thinking that we be having it. You know what I'm saying? I know for sure that I do, right? I be thinking I be having it, right? So I'm gonna bring out this particular video, right? Let me go here, and I knew that was gonna do that. All right, so I'm gonna bring out this video, and we're gonna let this brother bring out something, right? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Nope. Nope. Is this it? Get this thing out of my way. Yep, this is it. So let's listen to this brother, y'all.
Neither one of you understands the language.
Here we go.
Everybody says communication is the key, but what good is talking if neither one of you understands the language? You can communicate all day long, but without comprehension, it's just noise bouncing off two walls of pride. Because comprehension is where love actually breathes. It's the part that says, I hear you, but more than that, I understand you. Relationships don't fall apart because love just disappears one day.
All right, so, and I also want to take this now, even though in context we know that he's talking about like a romantic relationship, right, between man and woman, wife and husband, right? But you can also take this and apply it to relationships between brother and sister, right? You know, sister and sister, brother to brother, right? Those are your congregation, those are your family. It's still you have some type of relationship, right? And it's a certain type of love that you have with different people. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, it's literally one of those things, right? To where it will literally bounce from wall to wall, meaning your wall, their wall, right? Like, I'm gonna let the brothers finish speaking, right? I'm not gonna speak for them. Let's go.
They fall apart because comprehension does. Because one person keeps shouting their truth while the other keeps defending their ego. Love is not about who talks louder. It's about who listens deeper.
Right? That's key. Who listens deep? Who's really listening, right? And I know for one, for me personally, always it's in a sense of defending myself, right? And it's because, you know, sometimes I may feel attacked. Other times, I feel like I got the right answer, right? And it's not really trying to understand fully where the other person has come from. You hear what they're saying, you're responding to what they're saying, right? But do you really understand where they're coming from, right? And this is what the brother is saying, right? Because it's deeper than what's literally being said a lot of times, right? A lot of times, I'm not going to say all the time, but a lot of times it's deeper than what's being said, right? It's not just what literally happened that day, right? It could be something that happened before this person met you. It could be something, the way that this person has been their entire life, right? But you may not have been around to see that or to understand why this person is the way that they are. All right, let's keep going.
It's being able to sit in the tension without needing to win. It's realizing that sometimes your wrong is just your hurt talking louder than your heart. Communication will tell you what happened, but comprehension we'll tell you why.
See, that's the part right there. Right? Comprehension. You're gonna want to know why. Right? I'm gonna play a literal pastor, right? I'm gonna play a pastor in not too long, right? And he's kind of saying the same thing about the Bible, right? But I'm gonna let this brother keep going for now.
And you cannot heal what you refuse to understand. You want your relationship to grow? You gotta stop listening to reply and start listening to reflect. Because sometimes the point isn't to fix your partner, it's to finally see them, to understand the story behind the behavior, to realize they're not crazy, they're triggered. They're not distant, they're protecting something they've never felt safe enough to share. The truth is, love only works when both people are willing to unlearn themselves. When both hearts care more about understanding each other than being right about everything. When I get you becomes louder than you don't get me. You can't build intimacy without comprehension, because comprehension is what softens communication into connection, and that's where peace lives. Not in the talking, but in the understanding. So, yes, talk it out, but don't just communicate, comprehend. Because communication without comprehension is like a GPS with no destination. You'll keep going in circles, thinking you're making progress, when all you're really doing is proving your point and losing your person at the same time.
Hey, speaking of my queen, baby me murder me Kermit.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah. Hey, when that thing switched too fast. All right, so you could literally lose the person that you think.
Everybody said,
like it. Get out of here with that, right? So now let's go to the scriptures, right? Because I want to go to Sirach. I don't want this one just yet. I want Sirach chapter 9. And they done took, you seen they done took back down that KJV app.
I know, I didn't even know.
Yeah, they so wicked. I tried to find it before the class. Right, but chapter 9, let's start at verse 14.
All right. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 9, and verse 14. As near as thou canst, guess at thy neighbor, and consult with the wise. Let thy talk be with the wise, and all thy communication in the law of the Most High.
See that? So as much as you can, right? You get with your neighbor, right? Try to understand. And I think that's what it said. I'm not even sure if that's the right one. Let me see. Let me make sure. Yeah, that's not even the right version, right? So let's, because it says something, it says literally understand, right? It's gonna read totally different. Here, let me try this. Because that version, it just tells you to literally guess. Yeah, it's not pulling up. Let me see. That's so crazy. Let's see if Bible Gateway to get it. Nope. Let me see. Yeah, it's not pulling. Can you you got your book with you?
My apocrypha? Yep.
Con. Yeah, I want you to read it. I want you to read it straight out of that.
All right.
Just because
9
it
and 14,
definitely
right?
reads different.
9 and
Come,
14. All right. This is the book of Sirach, chapter
come.
9 and verse. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 9 and verse 14. As near as thou canst, guess at thy neighbor and consult with the wise. Let thy
Yeah,
talk.
yours say that. Yours, Salakia, yours say that too in your
Yeah,
book.
yeah.
Yeah, mine, cause
I do
mine's
got the
literally
red one.
says,
I got the red one upstairs, you know what I'm saying? Because I do got the red apocrypha. They're just smaller words. But yeah, that's what mine say, the same thing as the internet.
"Come." All right, so I'm gonna just read it from mine's. Right, it says, "As near as thy can, try to understand thy neighbor and consult with the wise." Right, so as near as you can get to understanding with your neighbor, right, that's what you should try to do. Don't always, like the brother was saying, don't just listen to respond, right? Listen to reflect, right? You can reflect on yourself, your own self attitude, and then you can also reflect and be like, hey, why is this person really acting like this? Or why are they saying this to me? Right? Try to understand that, because that's most important. Because then you can get a person to even open up more, right? And not only what they're saying, you'll get an understanding of, not saying that you don't understand, but you'll get the reasoning why. And anytime you get a reasoning why, it just makes the picture a whole lot clearer. It's no difference when we first came into the truth. You know what I'm saying, right? You'll get those people, they'll listen and literally say, yeah, that sounds right. You know, our people went through slavery, so on and so forth, right? That's literally, on the surface level. But then when you go into why our people go through what they go through, and you be like, dang, okay, we broke the Most High commandments. He said to Moses, if we didn't listen, he would put this curse on us, right? So you may think to yourself, well, why is there black on black crime, right? Boom, Deuteronomy 28:54, right? Because the world can tell you, hey, all you got to do is put the guns down. We could just come together, so on and so forth, right? But they don't have that why. They don't have the why. That's why nothing that they do lasts, right? The Black Panther Party, right? Although they still continue in the day, it's nothing how it was, back when what's the brother name, Fred, when he first started it up, right? It don't have that power behind it, right? Number one, because they wasn't keeping commandments. That's simple, right? So now you get the understanding of why things are happening. It paints a clearer picture, right? So let's go back to the videos real quick, and we're gonna listen to a pastor, right? Gonna listen to this pastor and what he says about Paul's letters. All right, so let's go.
I've been teaching scripture for 18 years, and I watched my entire Bible study group lie to my face last Wednesday night, and they didn't even know they were doing it. We were studying Philippians. I asked them if they knew what Paul meant when he said, work out your salvation with fear and trembling. Everyone nodded. Someone said, we have to take our faith seriously. Another said, it means we should be reverent. Good answers, yeah, but safe answers. So I asked, but why did Paul write that specifically to the Philippians? What was happening in their church that made him say this? And then silence. They looked at each other, looked at their Bibles, looked at their notes, nothing. And that's when I realized they didn't understand the Bible. They only understood my explanations of the Bible. The moment I wasn't there to walk them through it, they were completely lost. I'd been giving them fish every week. I never once taught them how to fish. That night I went home and sat in the dark for a long time, and I knew what I had to do. I started writing every book of the Bible. Who wrote it, when, why, what was happening. Not a sermon, not a devotional, just the context. 1 page per book, all 66. The next Wednesday, I put a copy at every seat. Before we open our Bibles.
All right, so now it was cool for this 60 seconds. Now you finna get wicked. I'm just letting y'all know now. All right. He finna get wicked because this is what he started.
Tonight I said, read the page on Philippians. I watched their eyes change. One woman looked up practically with tears. I finally get it. I've been reading Philippians for years and I never understood what was actually happening. But now it makes sense. A guy said, why didn't anyone ever tell me Paul wrote this from prison while the Philippian church was dealing with false teachers? That changes everything he's saying. At the end of the night, a man who'd been in my Bible study for 6 years, a Christian for 40 years, came up to me and he told me, Pastor, this is the first time I've ever studied the Bible and felt like I actually understood what was happening. That's what this Bible study guide does. It's 66 pages, one for every book. You'll discover who wrote it, when it was written, why it was written, what was happening, all in plain language. No seminary terms, just the context you need so when you open your Bible, you're not guessing, you're understanding. If you've ever opened your Bible feeling completely lost inside, you're far from being alone. And it had nothing to do with you. You just needed context. This guide is at 35% off right now.
35% off. He's selling the understanding, or the so-called understanding. Right? Oh, he went through all of that. It sounded all good, right? Because the brother didn't lie. You know what I'm saying? He didn't lie about how you get the understanding. He didn't lie about how people literally, they come to church and they don't really have an understanding. They only understand what you tell them, but they don't really have an understanding of what it is that they're reading or having a sermon being spoke to them, right? You do all of that. Then you say, hey, I went home. You know, you made it seem like it was going to be free. Like you done made copies of, you writing a context about a particular book and why it happened, why it was written, things of that nature. But then now you start selling it at 35% off.
God.
Right? You're literally communicating to your church that, hey, you have to buy this word. Right? Or you have to buy my understanding. Let me put it that way. Right? That's wicked.
God.
Right? That's spiritual communication going wrong just right off the dribble.
I was waiting for. I was like, man, I ain't seeing nothing wicked he's saying, bro. Like, what is he saying wicked? That's still that came to the end, man. I was waiting for. I think he's about to say about he can do all kind of. I thought he's gonna do a bad breakdown or something, man. But
God. Nah, I don't know, because I ain't paying. I ain't using that 35% off.
hey, that's what you got. That's what you buy. You brought the study out. You bought one of them books. Out of your collection, man.
God, man, it's crazy. It's a bunch of craziness, man. So let's go back to Sirach real quick. Chapter 9, and we can finish reading this version because it reads clear after this. Start at verse 15.
All right. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 9 and verse 15. Let thy talk be with the wise, and all thy communication in the law of the Most High.
All right, so don't let it be with that pastor, right? Don't get caught up giving this man money, right? You thinking you got a good deal for 35% off. You know what I'm saying? You give certain people the understanding, but then you turn around and say, hey, the rest of y'all can get it for 35% off. And people got tears in their eyes. All right, now they ain't got no money in their pockets because you taking their money.
God.
Well, go ahead.
All right. And let just men eat and drink with thee, and let thy glory be in the fear of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
For the hand of the artificer, the work shall be commended, and the wise ruler of the people for his speech.
Mm-hmm.
A man of an ill tongue is dangerous in his city.
See that? He's dangerous in his city. Why? Because you're going to have people following in behind this man, right? Listening to every word that he says, whether it's right or wrong. He's not guessing it. This is whatever you tell me because I esteem you so high, right? You got people that literally back up Donald Trump for whatever reason, right? And he's a man of an ill tongue, right? He's a man of an ill tongue. He dangerous in the United States of America, right? All 50 states. If it's probably more than 50, but according to what they tell us, all 50 states. All right, but go ahead.
and he that is rash in his talk shall be hated.
All right. So, and everybody hate that guy. Everybody hates that guy, right?
Can I bring something out real quick, man?
Go ahead.
It should be on topic, but I want to, kind of add more. Wanted to go to First Deuteronomy 28:54, and then go to James 1:19. Right. So I don't want the whole 54 though, right? Because we know that this is the curses, and Israel definitely have a problem of listening, right? All we do is want to talk instead of hearing or really listening. I would say that we rather talk and not listen, right? We hear, but we don't want to listen. So let's start at verse 54.
All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave.
So a lot with this curse, right? We see that in a lot of our communities. And a lot of that is because it's rather someone's not listening to the conversation, someone is ignoring the person, what they're going through, and dismissing their whole situation, right? So therefore, when you have broken homes, because people don't want to communicate and people don't want to listen. So since you don't want to communicate, guess what? You got an evil eye towards your brother. So then guess what? It's a fight. You don't want to communicate and to your wife or to your children, or you don't want to listen to what they're trying to tell you. You dismiss them, you write them off. So then you make them feel like, hey, y'all stupid, or that's your fault. You should have done this. You should have done it that way. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just listening, right? Because at the thing that Israel like to do, we like to hear, but we don't listen. It's a difference, right? Listening is where you can catch everything and just know exactly where someone is coming. People that just hear, you just hearing words. I hear what you're saying, but I don't get what you're saying. And I don't care what you're saying, right? So that's the problem with Israel. We don't know how to communicate, and we definitely don't want to listen to one another. We want to act like we got the answer for everything you have. We want to act like we have the problem solved. Soon as you tell me your issue, I got an answer for that. I'm going to give you the problem, what you need. But sometimes people just want you to listen, right? Read James 1:19 real quick.
This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 19. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath.
So listen and don't talk. Because sometimes people be talking in their head while someone's trying to tell them their situation. You be talking in your mind and already trying to counter what they're trying to say. So you're not even really hearing what they're saying. I mean, you're hearing what they're saying, but you're not really listening. You're not grasping hold of like, dang, this person is really going through this. You're just hearing words. But the Bible says, let every man be swift to hear, right? Be so, quick to shut your mouth and open up your ears and listen. Just listen to what the person is coming from. And slow to speak, because we always want to cut people off. We want to cut people off because we want to make sure that our answer is the right answer for you. And your answer ain't always right for everybody. Sometimes a person just needs you to listen to what they're saying, not hear, just listen. And then guess what? Slow to wrath. Because when you don't cut nobody off when you're going through your thing, it slows down the argument. Right? You just listen to where the person coming from. Because when a person is coming from somewhere in an angle that they want you to listen to what they're trying to say, you create an argument when you cut them off. You know what I'm saying? Because you already like, I'm dismissing that. Because that's what it is. It's really what you're saying. The person is giving you signs that they're dismissing your conversation. We're not supposed to do that. And guess what? We're all guilty of that. And we don't realize we do it. We all do it. Rather if it's the Bible, rather if it's just regular communication, we're quick to cut people off. Especially if you're in the debate. You will cut somebody off quick.
Okay.
right? Because you're trying to get like, no, this is what it is, this is what it is. Hey, we gonna get there, but we gotta be patient with one another. That's why Deuteronomy 28:54 shows these things while we have an evil eye towards one another, because we're so quick not to listen and quick to cut people off and dismiss what people are trying to say and make them feel little, and we don't have to do that. Not land there.
Okay, and you're 100% right. And we've done this. Like, man, if you watch, especially like a lot of the elders' videos, right, you'll literally see, like, at the end of the day, we read that scripture in Sirach, right, where it literally we just read it, where it said, or did we just read it? I know I got it in here, as far as not interrupting the man in his speech.
Oh, no, we didn't get to
Yeah, so we didn't get there yet, but not interrupting the man in his speech, right? Now, when you watch those videos, right, the elders didn't play. You know what I'm saying? They was because they know a lot of our people, yes, they are full of foolishness, right? But you gotta realize there's some people out there it's not foolishness that's coming in behind it, right? It's just ignorance of not really knowing what something is, right? But instead of trying to understand them, right, we just automatically boom. You think you know what it is, but you don't know what it is. So I'm finna cut you off right now because like you just said, I know what you're about to say, right? And you could possibly lose a soul that way, right? Possibly. And I only say possibly because at the end of the day, it's up to the Most High.
Okay.
Right? At the end of the day. So let's go back to, matter of fact, let's get that. So I'm going to go back to Sirach. We're going to go to chapter 11. And let's start at verse 7.
All right. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 11 and verse 7. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke.
Read that part again.
Understand first and then rebuke.
Right? This is important. We have to understand first, right? Just because we heard the Christianity doctrine 1,000 times, right? It don't mean that that's exactly where that person is going. Because a lot of times, the people that's in Christianity, they're confused, right? If they're you have your Christian apologists, and then you have people that's in Christianity. That's two different people, right? There's two different people. The people that's in Christianity, right? They are confused in what they believe, to be honest, right? A lot of time, and then even it's no difference than as far as the Christian apologists. They're confused in their understanding too, but they stand on it, right? They have pride enough to stand on what it is that they're saying. So instead of automatically assuming one thing, that this person has pride, maybe it's they just ignorant and they just don't really know. This is why they double talk. That whole Trinity doctrine is confusion in and of itself. And one breath they're saying, I believe there's one God and I believe there's the Son. And then they'll say in another breath, well, Jesus is God. Right? They'll split them up in one moment, and then another moment they're the same person. Makes zero sense. So, but we have to understand first, right? Who did you learn under? Where did you hear that from? Where did you get that from? You know what I'm saying? Understand first, then rebuke. Then you give them the correct answer, right? Verse 8.
Answer not before thou hast heard the cause.
See that? Don't cut them off, right? Hear that. Even if it's the 1,001st time you got to hear it again. You know what I'm saying? Because they may tweak it. Because if you hear them out, then when you go to speak, they'll hear you out more times than that, right? But go ahead.
Neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk.
All right. So we can't be the ones, even on this side with the microphone, interrupting them while they're speaking. Now, we know brothers got to use discernment, of course, when somebody's just up there to scoff. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of feel that spirit. Like, brother, or sister, you just up here to scoff. You ain't really trying to get an understanding. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, be done with it. You know what I'm saying? Start teaching to the wind if you have to. All right, so let's go back Let's go to another video.
And if you get two, you'll get one free.
Get that out of there. See, look at that. They trying to buy one, get one free, man.
How much you pay for that book?
God. All right, so where we at? Let's see. Nope, let's go here. This brother here. Or maybe brother. It might be Hamite. Start it over, turn it up. There we go.
Pride is dangerous because it blinds you to yourself. And one thing about pride is that pride doesn't always look loud. Sometimes it looks like being defensive, always needing to be right, refusing correction, constantly justifying yourself, seeing every flaw but your own. One thing about pride is pride hides behind self-protection. Pride can make you critical, defensive, unteachable, offended, and controlling.
And all of those things is important because it's the 100% truth, right? Like he said in the beginning, pride is not always loud. It's not always beating your chest, right? Not always saying, hey, I know this and I know that. You don't know what you're talking about, right? Things that I've said before, right? Lord knows, my wife knows, I done said that plenty of times, that line. You don't even know what you're talking about, right? And it's literally because I'm hearing what she's saying, but I was never trying to understand it. I was just always trying to, like he said, trying to be right. Right? And even if you are right, you could still be wrong at the same time. Right? You could still be wrong at the same time. We're gonna go back to Sirach to bring out a scripture for that too. But go ahead. Let's go.
That is pride. Pride can convince you that everyone else is the problem. One of the clearest evidences of pride is that you only see you, your pain, your opinion, your perspective, your achievement. You only see your desires, your importance, your needs, your hate, your offense. Pride is so dangerous that it makes correction look like or feel like rejection. Somebody wanted to correct you, but because of pride, you interpreted what they were trying to do as a rejection. That's pride. I've seen people with all the anointing one can ever desire. I've seen people with greatness but no way because of the invincible sin called pride. I've seen pride hijack people's destinies. And when we are talking about destinies, we are also talking about things like relationships. Some of you are not where you are supposed to be, not because the devil is behind what you are experiencing currently, but because pride ushered you into where you are today. Only if you humbled yourself and said sorry. Pride will never allow you to say I'm sorry, because pride will cause you to interpret that as vulnerability, as desperation. If I move this way, they'll think I need them. If I say this, they'll think I'm dependent on them. Pride, the invincible sin.
Yeah.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul.
Get out of here. All right, so what the brother is saying is 100% correct. Right? It's 100% correct. You can try and hide behind that stuff all you want to. At the end of the day, hey, the Most High say no. The Most High say no. Right? So I want to go back to something. Let me pull it up. Sirach 20. Right? Because back to a part, right? When I said literally, you got to know, just because you're right, don't mean that you always have to speak it out loud. You got to know when to speak. Right? So let's start at verse 1.
All right. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 20 and verse 1. There is a reproof that is not comely,
Mm-hmm.
Again, some man holdeth his tongue, and he is wise.
See that? So it's a reproof, it's a correction that's not like necessarily beautiful, right? And it says, some man hold his tongue and he is wise, right? Just because you have it, right? It's a lot of times it's about how it comes out. It's not that you don't give it, right? Why would somebody hold their tongue? Because you see this person is not in a state of mind to even receive it. So what point is it of trying to correct them or give them the right answer right then and there, right? Sometimes you got to look at the person. Again, you have to understand, right? You got to understand the communication, the nonverbal communication this person is giving off, right? Brothers everybody's been there. I'm not going to even just say brothers, right? Whether you're on the street corner, whether you dealing with somebody, whether it be on the job, you talking to somebody you ain't seen, or let's just say you talking to a family member about the word. You can see them uninterested. Right? They giving you one word answers. They looking around, you know what I'm saying, all the way around. Ain't nothing even going on around you, but they looking around, not really paying attention to what you're saying. Right? But they're just not going to be rude enough to just walk away or tell you to shut up. Right? So you hold your tongue, you got to be able to recognize that nonverbal communication. Right? So verse 2.
It is much better to reprove than to be angry secretly.
Right? Now, if you can't hold it, right? If you holding your tongue, it's gonna make you angry, right? Then you have to, sometimes you gotta let it out, right? But always understand that this person is not going to be able to may not be able to receive it, right? It's always that type of what could be you or the other person, right? And this is a self-reflection class as well, you know what I'm saying? Because again, we not even always in the right spirit to give the right answer. Right, but go ahead.
And he that confesseth his fault shall be preserved from hurt.
Mm-hmm.
How good is it when thou art reproved to show repentance?
See, that's a great thing, right? Go ahead.
For so shalt thou escape willful sin.
All right, that's how you get rid of that, right? Acts 3:19, repent. Right, so let's jump down to verse 6.
All right, verse 6. Some man holdeth his tongue because he have not to answer.
Right, and you should. If you don't have the wisdom, the knowledge to give an answer, hey, just sit back, relax. Right, go ahead.
Because he have not answered, and some keepeth silence, knowing this time.
See that? Some keepeth silence, knowing when the right time is. Right? Hey, brother, I seen you irate right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to either catch you tomorrow. I'm going to give you, 10, 20 minutes or whatever, and then I'm going to try again. Right? You got to know when to speak. Right? When to correct, when to rebuke, when to sit back, understand. Right? Go ahead.
A wise man will hold his tongue till he see opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
But a babbler and a fool will regard no time.
Oh, he's just gonna say whatever come on his mind, right? I speak my mind. I ain't holding nobody up. Right? You gonna do that, and guess what? You gonna start offending people. You gonna start losing people, so on and so forth, right? And no, this is not the person that's lit. Like when you come in with correction, nobody's calling you a fool, right? But it's just letting you know that, hey, you have to pay attention, right? Because especially when it's correction from the Most High book, if you see somebody out there, some homosexuality act or whatever, you rebuke them. There's nothing wrong with rebuking them right there, right? At the end of the day, they're not promised to see the rest of that day, as we know that that's a sin unto death, right? So you let that be known, right? But when you're doing, whether it be a counsel or whether somebody come to you with something or whatever it is, right? Sit back, try to understand what's actually happening, right? Try to understand what's happening. So let's go back. I wish I would have put these things in order, right? We listened to that one. Right, so let's listen to this brother, right? Listen to this brother. Because again, this is about listening and understanding, right? Now he's going into marriage here, so let's check this out.
Some days I just don't like my wife, but that's exactly when the love comes into play. And a lot of the days she don't like me. You want to know how I know? Because she told me. And that's okay. See, society got things all twisted up. They got like and love mixed up, thinking that just because y'all going on a vacation together that y'all are showing each other love. Just because y'all taking nice, cute pictures all the time and he brought you a bag of food from work and you wasn't expecting it, that's love. Y'all showing each other love. No, fool, y'all showing each other like. That's the moments when you like each other. The like, it comes and goes. It comes together and it fades.
Okay, so I agree with that, right? I agree with that. It's all, this is why arguments happen. Hey, I don't like you right now. I'm about to argue with you. Now, you may not use the words I don't like, you know what I'm saying? Because it may seem too harsh for you. But that's how arguments start. I don't like what you're saying. I don't like how you're acting. I don't like what you're doing. Right? I don't like you. Right? We can't sugarcoat it. Just like the Christians literally say the Most High hates the sin but loves the sinner. No, they're one and the same. So it's the same thing with our marriages. Hey, especially if I got an attitude at you right now, you not liked. It's okay. Right? It's okay. It don't mean you don't love me no more. It don't mean you want no divorce. It don't mean you want to leave me. It don't mean you want somebody else. Right? But that's what our people interpret that as. Right? And a lot of times this is why divorce rate's so high. Or let's just say people not even getting married. Right? They're not committing to each other. Right? Because they don't like them in a particular point. It's only a minute left. Let's go.
Ain't nothing wrong with like, but don't get it confused with the love. Get this, love is proven in the tension, in that silence right after a fight, in choosing to go the softer route when your ego wants to be right. And some days your husband or wife, they gonna push your buttons like they trying to break the remote. But real love says, even though I don't like how you acting right now, I still choose you and I still got your back. Because being married is not a constant feeling that you feel every day. Being married is a daily decision to choose to love the other person in spite of how you feel. So look, if you ever had a day when you loved your spouse, but you didn't like them, ain't nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You married. Just keep showing up to the fight. And go ahead and share this video with somebody who you know has been choosing love in spite of not liking somebody. We're trying to help all of us get through this thing together because marriage is crazy. I know. And if today is one of those tough days when you don't like your spouse, don't give up. Pull up, stay in the fight. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta go tell my wife I'm not mad at her for washing my white socks with my dark socks. But it's simple. Pull up.
Women think that they do it all, and they don't. We don't. I do a lot.
I ain't fast enough. All right, so let's go right back to the scriptures, right? Because it's no different than Yahushua, right? So let's go to Ephesians chapter 5. Right. Start at verse. I want to go up further. Let's start at verse 22.
All right. This is the Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as unto the Lord.
See that? Go ahead.
For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Yahushua is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Yahushua, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
All right, go ahead. Just the point.
Husbands, love your wives, even as Yahushua also loved the church and gave himself for it.
You see that? So you think Yahushua liked us all the time? Right? If we see how Yahushua talked to the Sadducees and Pharisees, you think he liked them all the time? Right? You think he liked Peter all the time? Right? Even though Peter was his homie, his road dog. You think Moses liked the Israelites all the time? right? He broke it. He broke his staff because he was pissed off at us. Right? So it's the same thing, brothers and sisters, in your marriages, right? This is about understanding the communication that's being had. Hey, although I don't like you, like the brother said, hey, I still love you, right? I'm still gonna, hey, let's not like each other together, right? I don't want to like you and be with somebody else. Like the brother said, that's what real love is. This is how Christ loved the church and gave himself for it, right? Because although he didn't like us, right, in the time of his blood being shed, but he loved us that much, right, that he continued to do his job of what he was sent for, even though he didn't like us, right? Even though we was committing a bunch of wickedness, even though we said, hey, kill that man, right? I know I ain't gonna like nobody to tell that say kill him or kill me, right? So I know Yahushua, hey, he ain't like him, right? But he loved the Most High first and foremost, and then he still loved us to give us a chance to repent from all of the wicked things that we've done.
Hey, can I bring up Matthew real quick, man? Kind of going in what you just saying. This came to my spirit, Matthew 13 and 13. Like, it's kind of going in what you said, like, because, you know, sometimes you can be frustrated when people don't comprehend what you're saying. You'll see Yahushua he definitely get frustrated, right? Because you know that the people are so distracted. You know, a lot of the people that was following Yahushua at the time was really just amazed of his healing power, right? They seen healing, they seen, wow. So instead of really trying to hear the words, you had some people that was really all about trying to hear the cleansing of the word. Some was looking at Yahushua, hey, do that again. Heal him. Heal that. Oh, man, hear that. Or some of them just like to hear his speech, but not really listening. Hey, speak wise. I love the way he talked, but they don't have an understanding what he said, right? So get 13 to 13 real quick.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 13 and verse 13. Therefore speak I to them in parables.
Why? Because they don't listen. I have to dumb it down, or I have to make it sound very confusing. Why? Because they're not listening. I'd rather hear what you're saying, but not listen to what you're saying. So Yahushua, like, I have to break things down in parables. Why?
Because they see not.
They see him healing, but they don't see as the Father that's really doing it. Right? Again, they're looking. Wow, look what he can do. Look what he can do. They see it, but they don't really see as the Father, right? Go ahead.
And hearing, they hear not.
They hear me speak, but they not even really listening to my Father. See, they like what I do and they like what I say, but they're not reading their word. It's some of our people like that. A lot of our people love to hear that we're Israelites, but they don't want to listen to when we say you got to keep the commandments. They don't want that. It's like, hey, I'm an Israelite. Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm from the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, so on and so on. Yeah. They be so happy. So then they'll walk away thinking that's all it is. That's the end all be all. We're like, hold on, brother. We got one more thing. But you know what you got to do since you're an Israelite? Now you got to keep the commandments and laws. 613 laws. Whoa. That's a lot. You're already losing. But see, they're not comprehending. They're just hearing that, hey, we Israelites, but they're not listening to the whole message, right? See, you got to allow your spirit to take over and not your flesh, because it's the same thing when the people were listening and watching Yahushua, they were carnal mind. That's why they didn't have no understanding, because they thought it was him that was doing the healing, and then they thought that he was possessed, right? They're like, oh, he has a devil in him, right? Oh, man, he's who would he think he is to say stuff like that against what the Pharisees are saying? I don't like that. So guess what? They're not listening to the word of God. They're listening, they're hearing in a carnal mindset. Finished it off?
Neither do they understand.
They don't understand because you don't understand who the Father sent for the job to do. The people today, they don't understand the prophets that sent out here today to do the same thing what the disciples were doing, and so on all the other prophets. Go ahead.
And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, by hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand. And seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive.
Right. You shall see the prophets on the corners teaching, but you're not going to perceive it. Power Rangers, clouds, people that ain't got jobs. That's what we hear. What they doing? They sound stupid out there, right? They don't perceive anything, right? Verse 15.
For this people's heart is wax gross.
Right, hard-headed. Their mind is so stuck and it's stuck on stupid that they don't even want to listen, right? So they don't comprehend what we're trying to say. Go ahead.
And their ears are dull of hearing.
Right, because you know why? It's too much rap music in their head. Right? It's too much movies in their head, too much sports in their head. Right? So they don't want to hear the spiritual thought, the spiritual word of the Most High, right? Go ahead.
And their eyes have they closed.
Right. They can't see what's going on. Right? Go ahead.
Lest at any time they should see with their eyes, hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart.
And shall what?
And shall understand and should understand with their heart.
Right. So your mind can't be wax gross, full of crap in there, full of distraction. Because that's why you don't see and hear, because your mind is full of distraction. So you don't understand what's going on, right? But if you do, the Most High said you should understand with their heart, right? Go ahead.
And should be converted, and I should heal them.
So when you really see the bigger picture and comprehend what we're doing, we're showing that, hey, we're the people of the kingdom, that we need to go ahead and rise for the Father and the Son, right? We are the interpreters to you right now from the Father, right? So read verse 16 and I'll close it right there.
But blessed are your eyes.
Blessed are your eyes, those that repented and understood and comprehended to this truth, right? Go ahead.
For they see.
Right. We see the words of the Bible, right? Because we don't see it physically, right? We live them off by faith. We see the faith and we can feel the faith and we understand the faith, right? Go ahead.
And your ears, for they hear.
In our ears, when someone preached this word to us, we knew this was the truth. Go ahead.
For verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them.
And that's why they're like, I don't get the picture. I don't know why we got to keep these commandments. Christ died for our sins, and so why do we got to go ahead and follow the law? He got rid of the law because you don't comprehend. You listen. I mean, you hear what a pastor's teaching, but you're not listening to the lies he's giving you because you don't want to read.
Yeah.
Right? Go ahead.
And have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them.
That's why you never heard it, because you are not listening to the real prophets. The real prophets is going to give you the laws, the breakdowns. We're going to go from old to the new. We're going to show you what it is. We're going to show you pictures. We're going to give you everything you need to understand this is the truth. So therefore, comprehend this truth, because this is what it is. Our people of Israel lack comprehension, and that's why 2/3 got to go. I land there.
Okay. All right. So let's go to, because you have these people here too, right? Let's go to Ezekiel 33. So you have these people here as well. So let's start here, right? Because not only do you have those, right? You have those like the Sadducees and Pharisees, like it says, hey, they don't really see, they don't really hear, they don't understand, right? These are the same people with no understanding, but this is how they do it. Let's go start at verse 30.
All right, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 33 and verse 30. Also, thou son of man, the children of thy people still are talking against thee by the walls and in the doors of the houses.
So you got people, hey, they still talking about y'all, right? It's still talking about you, rather, Ezekiel. You know, they by the walls, they by the houses, right? Hey, you know, in a sense, they making fun of you, right? But go ahead.
And speak one to another everyone to his brother, saying, Come, I pray you, and hear that is the word that cometh forth from the Lord.
See that? So now, hey, we gonna come. They coming together. Like, yeah, what he did say that do make a little sense. So let's come. Hey, let's go hear the word of the Lord. Right? Go ahead.
And they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them.
They will not do what?
They will not do them.
They ain't gonna do what they hear him. Right? They sit there and they listen, but they won't keep his commandments. Right? Go ahead.
For with their mouth they show much love.
Hey, they all riding past, honking horns, right? Throwing the fist up, right? Shalom, brother, shalom. Right? Now you definitely have some brothers that be on their way to camp. A lot of those brothers, we know who they are. Then you have other people that just passing. You know what I'm saying? You have people that, hey, I like what y'all doing. Y'all keep doing that. Right? No, how about you do it? Right? We need more people to do it so we can get up out of here. Don't just try to give us no compliment. We don't want the compliment. The only compliment that we want is you repenting. Right? But they don't have that understanding. Right? They comprehend your communication. They understand you literally telling them that they the real Jews that the Bible speak of, but that's as far as they go. Yeah, it sounds good to my ears. Right? Go ahead.
For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness.
They do what they want to do. Go ahead.
And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice and can play well on an instrument.
Right. So this is how the words become. Right. We've all heard those songs like, hey, who is that? You know what I'm saying? Somebody you ain't never heard of, you ain't familiar with. You be like, hey, who was that? Hey, that's tight. Right? It's the same thing with the word of the Most High when it come down to our people. Hey, that sound good. Hey, what book is that? And then they'll go try to tell somebody else and they don't repent.
Okay.
Right? Go ahead.
For they hear thy words, but they do them not. And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come even. I'm going to slack it. Let me read that again. And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them.
All right. They're going to know at some point. They're going to be searching. Hey, what them brothers that was on them corners? Hey, man, they was right. You know what I'm saying? They was right in what they was bringing up. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back. Let's get another video, y'all. Let's get another video, right? So let's see. You're going to listen to this brother, right? Yeah, we're going to listen to this brother. This brother definitely cut me too, y'all. All right, so, and I'm going to try not to interrupt just so y'all can hear exactly how the brother bringing it out.
Here's the step that everybody missed. If we're together, right? And I just told you that I've been feeling neglected, unwanted, and that's really hurting my confidence and security in the relationship. How should you respond to that?
I think my question would be, no, Alan. I think my question would be like, what exactly am I doing to make you feel that way?
That's excellent, but not the right answer. So when somebody express themselves to you and have a complaint, the first thing you do is summarize. What I heard you say is that lately you have not been feeling wanted and desired in this relationship, and my lack of presence and words of affirmation have made you feel neglected. First step. Second step is I'm going to validate you to make sure that you feel understood.
All right. And I'll say that I will stop it, Sluggy. I will say this, right? The second step is actually in conjunction with the first step, right? So you summarize it to let them know that they're heard, right? And letting them know that they're heard, then they also know that you understand exactly what it is that they're conveying to you, right? That's literally what that is. Let's go back a little bit.
What I heard you say is that lately you have not been feeling wanted and desired in this relationship, and my lack of presence and words of affirmation have made you feel neglected. First step. Second step is I'm going to validate you to make sure that you feel understood prior to responding to you. I can understand what it feels like to be neglected and unwanted. I could clearly see how that is detrimental to the relationship and how that would affect the way that you view yourself and exactly the way that you feel in this relationship in terms of safety and security.
Mac, does that take some form of emotional maturity?
All right, so that's actually it's beautiful, right? And again, I know that he's referring to like an actual relationship, but we can take this, we can apply this in whatever counsel that you're doing, right? Whatever kind of, like if you kicking it with your brother that you might have a issue with, or a sister that you might have an issue with, right? You can imply these same things, right? This ain't just for a husband and wife type relationship that go through issues. This is for people that deal with issues together, right? You ever wonder why, hey, why am I always bumping heads with this one person? It's always me and this one person. I get along with other people fine. We don't go through nothing. And if we do, we get over it fine. But it's this one person that we just can't seem to get it right. There's always some type of miscommunication. Maybe you should try to apply this, right? Just like we've been saying before, you listen for the why, right? You listen for the why. And a lot of times when you listen for the why, you're going to get it. You're going to get it right. The conversation is going to go smooth. You're going to renew the relationship, right? Because now you gain understanding. Before, again, we can holler Matthew 18 and 18 all day long. But what does that look like in process, right? What are the words? Yeah, you can go to your brother or sister, but how are you going to them? Right? What's the tone of your voice? What's the words that you're choosing to use? Right? If you don't have the right words, like, you know what you're saying to yourself. Like you said before you even say it out your mouth, a lot of times, unless you're just one of those people that just speak without really, just out the blue. But a lot of times, if you're listening to the other person, right, you're literally talking inside your own mind. So you're not hearing what the other person is saying. Not fully, right? You hear the words, but you don't hear the why. All right, so let's keep going.
Some emotional intelligence.
So I have one more step.
I
never had that.
I had a question for this.
One more step.
Like in real life. Yeah, you can definitely TV, Mac.
Do the final step.
You can definitely do the final step.
Yes. So the third step is: do you feel understood?
You asking me?
Yeah.
No, he's saying
after summarizing and I validated, I'm going to ask you, do you feel understood?
Yeah.
Because I cannot respond until you felt heard.
See that? And that's what a lot of people, I miss this 100%. Right? 100%. You shouldn't respond. I'm not going to say you can't, but you shouldn't respond until you really know that the other person has felt heard. And that you know that I understand everything that you're saying, right? And I'm going to reply after that, right? I'm not just going to cover it up. I'm not going to put my feelings on top of your feelings. And now we in a big old mess, right? And now you get to going, well, back and forth. Well, you said this like this, and you did this, and this is why I responded to this, and this is why this is happening. No, you summarize what they're saying, right? After you summarize it, you let them know. You ask them, not let them know, Sluggy. You ask them, did you feel heard? Do you think that I understand what you're saying? Right? Let the brother finish.
If not, I'm gonna share my perspective. Then you go back and share your perspective. We're not gonna get nowhere because nobody's feeling understood, right? So being able to sit back and be disciplined enough to hear you, make sense of what you said, and validate that. And validation does not mean that you agree. Validation means I understand. Conflict does not apply to agreement because we can see the same thing, have the same experience, but have two different perspectives of it. So it's true for me because it's subjective to me. My feelings are true and they're right, and your feelings are true and they're right. So we're not debating who's right or wrong. So that's why the validation and the understanding is needed before we can even proceed to have a conversation. So those are the 3 steps that most people are not aware of. And those are the 3 steps that.
All right. So I'm gonna go to another one, y'all. Cause this was some good stuff, man. This was definitely some good stuff. Where we at? Let's go. Let's go here. Right. Same brother. Similar message. Let's go.
A conversation about how you feel is not supposed to turn into a fight. And if every time you express yourself, it turns into an argument, something is already broken in the communication. Because sharing your feelings isn't an attack. It's not a debate. It's not an invitation for someone to defend themselves like they're on trial or something. It's information. It's vulnerability. It's trust. When someone tells you how they feel, they're not saying you're a bad person. They're saying, this is what's happening inside me. But a lot of people don't hear feelings. They hear accusations. So they get defensive. They get loud. They start interrupting. They start explaining instead of listening. And that's where things go left. Because now the conversation isn't about understanding anymore. It's about winning. And when you try to win a conversation about feelings, you lose the relationship.
Right? You lose every time because you're trying to win with your feelings. You're trying to defend yourself, and this other person is doing the same thing. Right? And if we realize that, I'm not saying that we can stop this, right? Even with this information, right? You can make it better because at times that flesh is strong, y'all. And it's like, man, I can't hold my tongue no more. I got to say it like this. You know what I'm saying? But if you can do it, you know what I'm saying? And this is why lessons like this have to come out, because you actually can do it, right? You can do it. It can be done, right? And if we make it more regular, it's going to become just like we made fussing, fighting, and arguing regular, and it feels good to the flesh. We can make this feel good to the flesh, right? But it has to be practiced.
Healthy communication looks like curiosity. It sounds like, help me understand, not here's why you're wrong. It creates space instead of tension. It brings clarity instead of chaos. If someone can't let you speak without turning it into a battle, it usually means they don't know how to sit with discomfort. They don't know how to hold accountability, and they definitely don't know how to listen without taking everything personally. And that's not your fault. You're allowed to express yourself without being punished for it. You're allowed to have emotions without having to defend them. You're allowed to be heard without it turning into conflict. Communication isn't supposed to feel unsafe. It's supposed to feel constructive. If every time you open your mouth, you end up apologizing for how you feel, that's not communication, that's emotional shutdown. And over time, that silence will cost you more than the argument ever would. So remember this, if someone really values you, they won't fight your feelings. They'll try to understand them, because real connection doesn't come from being right. It comes from being willing to listen.
Okay. Right. They got to be a willing participant, right? And I'm going to symbolize this, right, before we move forward. With Matthew 5:37, right? Symbolize it. Yeah, how should I symbolize it, right? So go ahead and read that.
All right, there's a book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 37. But let your communication be, yea, yea, nay, nay. For whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil.
Right, and this is how arguments start, because it becomes more than yay, yay, and nay, nay. Right? It becomes, well, you did, well, you said, well, you act like this. Well, you ain't listen to me. You weren't trying to, right? If you let it be yay, yay, hey, I hear you, I understand you, right? But and you take the steps to do that, right? Because everybody, we're not in those bodies to where you can literally hear a person say what they say and believe them for what they say, right? Because in the back of your mind, even though somebody's being straightforward, hey, it's something hidden under there. Do they really mean this? You know, you start speculating. You do that a lot. I know sisters do it a lot with text messages, bull. Them text messages come through. What's she mean? Why she say, you see this? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I seen, hey, she liked all my messages except, hey, everybody liked my messages, but she didn't like mine. She liked everybody else.
Hey, dog.
Now, hey, I'll be honest. For whatever reason, y'all sisters do communicate like that. I'm gonna let you know I don't like you. I'm gonna like everybody else.
Right. That's crazy.
Right. But some, I'm not gonna say all, some do that.
God.
Right. Some do that. It's a well-known fact that definitely some do that. But again, if you let your communication be yay, you ain't no speculation gonna be needed. Right? If you take the time to let this person know, hey, I understand what you're telling me, right? And I'm talking about being genuine with it, not no be like, yeah, I hear you. But let me say this, that's not genuine. You know what I'm saying? That's not genuine. You ain't really hear what the person was saying. All right. But you got anything you add? I'm gonna switch lines. We still staying on communication, but we're gonna go to another subject.
Yeah, let me get that. What is that scripture where it says, let not evil communication corrupt the good manners? Is that Romans?
No, that's Corinthians. I got that on here too, but we can go ahead because I was actually gonna skip it, but we can go ahead.
Because that just came to mind when you said that, right? And that's the thing, man. We get the days of the times we living in. We love texting. We love to communicate through words instead of just having a conversation. So, yo, what's up? Da. You know, and don't get me wrong, it can be convenient. It can be really well, especially if you're doing something and you want to get something out real quick. Boom. But having like a conversation like on the phone and just constantly texting one another, I think that's kind of like weird. Like why we ain't talking, but you can text me for a whole hour, but then you would say I'm busy. Like,
right.
That's hard. I get it. But you busy texting though. I get it. All right, but yeah, let me get 1 Corinthians 15-33.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. It says, be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
That's what it is. Like, be not deceived. Evil communication corrupt good manners. Like you was just saying. That's what made me think of it. I don't understand why people do that. Like, in a way of, I like your messages. I like everybody. I love everybody. But when it comes to yours, I don't say anything. I don't get it. I think that's childish. I think it's definitely not the Most High and that's not showing love to your neighbor. Like, because you know what you're doing when you do stuff like that. And I think that's like, I don't get what you get out of that. It's like, it don't make sense. But again, evil communication corrupt good manners. It messes up relationships. You know what I'm saying? You know exactly what you're doing when you're doing that. And this is why Israel be having a problem. But then you want to say like, hey, you all about the Most High. You say that you love God, you would do everything, and you are a helpful person, you are a loving person, but you do stupid stuff like that. And then you think that people, like you said, you think that people don't see it, man. People see that. And what you trying to do, you're trying to pull your point, trying to make your point across and say, prove your point across and say, like, hey, I don't like you. Just say it then. Like, because really that's a coward way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Just speak your mind so y'all can really heal your situation. Because that's what it's really about. Speak your mind. So then whatever the situation you're dealing with, guess what happens? It's a misunderstanding when everything goes out. So it removes that evil communication and those evil and brings corrupt good manners when you talk, right? Just simple things, man. And what was that one thing? I think it's 1 Peter 3:7 about the husbands don't hinder get the prayers hindered.
Yeah.
I think it's 1 Peter 3:7. Because again, as husbands, we have to be patient with our wives, right? And not just with our wives, we have to be patient with one another, right? I look at it like this: if you can't respect your wife, how can you respect the brother? If you can't respect your husband, how can you respect the sister? Like that's backwards. I'm gonna show my brother, I'm gonna show Debak more respect than I show my wife. That's off. Or my wife gonna show more respect than for his wife. That's off. We have to be on one accord, because if we know how to respect one another, we're gonna know how to respect another brother or a sister that's in this truth. Simple as that, right? Let me get this real quick.
Okay. It's the book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, and verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge.
Right. So sometimes just listen to your wife. Because again, they may speak emotional. They may want to feel like because they want to argue about something, whatever the case may be, but dwell with them according to knowledge, right? And that knowledge can be just listening. That knowledge could be just want to hear what they're trying to say and feel them. Put your foot in their shoes at times, right? Go ahead.
Giving honor unto the wife.
Right. Give your wife glory and praise, right? Because guess what? She's looking for it. She's always looking for it. More than you want it. Your wife wants more praises than you could even imagine, right? Your wife look for a praise. But hey, sometimes as men, our mind be in other things, and you have to take the time out of the day. Now, I don't want to say every day, because that's lying, right? At the time in your life, right? Have those conversations with your wife where you could give them their praise, right? Let them know what they do. Like, man, you do really well in the house. I love the way you deal with the kids. I love the way you're doing with the kids. I love the way you supported me. I love this and this and that. Right? Give them that, because they be looking for it. Because a lot of times they kind of will, in a way, sometimes forget when things get caught up in their anger and their emotions. They may forget that you told them that they're a good wife or whatever. But understand, you have to remind them as a husband. Don't be like, I'm not telling her that. Dude, she don't tell me that. So why I'm going to tell her that? But you got to dwell according to the knowledge. You got to understand she's not like you. Y'all are two different people, but y'all can be one-minded together by showing respect to one another, right? Go ahead.
It says, in being it, actually Slakia, as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life.
Right. Being heirs, being apart, being one together, right? You and your wife should be one. So y'all should be able to respect one another, right? It shouldn't be, I'm only gonna respect you when we come around to the body. I'm gonna act like I'm so holier than thou, and I'm gonna respect you in front of the body. But as soon as I get home, F you, shut up, get out of my face. Like, we can't do that. Like, man, no, it's really like, hey, be who you are, and you don't have to worry about being somebody different when you come around the body. Be who you are, right? Because understand, we are heirs together, man. We in this together so we can make it to this promised land in the kingdom, right? Because, hey, you start acting like you don't want to hear your wife, you want to dismiss what she's saying, the Most High say he's going to do this. What are you going to do?
Says that your prayers be not hindered.
Your prayers to be hindered. The Most High watching us, men. Hey, you don't listen to your wife? You don't put your foot in her shoes? You don't correct her when she's wrong. You let her slide and say what she want to say, or go where she want to go, do what she want to do. The Most High going to hinder your prayers. So us as men, we have to be correcting our wives. We got to respect our wives, and it goes vice versa. The women also got to hear us too. It ain't about just hear me out and I don't hear you. No, hear each other out. Because we as men doesn't mean we don't have feelings. Doesn't mean that you can say whatever you want to say or think the way you want to think about me. Hey, I get it. Your cycle coming. Hey, you may turn to another monster. I get it. But guess what? You still have to dwell according as me as your head, or vice versa. I gotta deal with you according to you as my wife. So hey, just keep it all in one thing and comprehending one another.
Okay. All right, let's see. I may. Do I want to? Yeah, I think I can pass on that, right? Yeah, I can pass on that. All right, so I'm gonna go to another. Still in the same thing as far as communication, right? And this one could fall under interpersonal communication, right? Nonverbal in a sense, right? And for those of you that may have little children, if you want to get them away, because I'm gonna have Mike I'll read something, right? It's based on sex, right? Because sex is also a type of communication. Right? So let me find it. It's a post. Right? It's a nice little lengthy post. Where you at? Where you at? You're right here. Right? So you could read this, right?
You want me to read from the top all the way to the bottom?
Con.
Okay, con.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, this is from the brother Mitchell Samuel Jr. This is his post. He posted this at June 8th at 9:25 a.m. And it says, "This is why Yahweh." Hold on, Salakia. Is this a Israelite brother?
I wouldn't know.
I don't use.
Yeah. I honestly wouldn't know, but I definitely agree with his take on this, right?
Okay, all right. This is why God says if you lay down with someone, y'all supposed to stay together. And no condoms does not help. The dark side of intimacy. What happens every time you sleep with someone you are not aligned with?
Mm-hmm.
People think sex is just pleasure, just fun, just two bodies touching each other in the dark. But if you have lived long enough, you already know the truth.
Right? Or at least you should know, right? At least you should know. And we know that this younger generation has no clue, right? And we were once there, right? You know what I'm saying? You trying to talk to this female, that female, right? It was almost like a accomplishment. It was a badge of honor for you to get with a female and sleep with her. You know what I'm saying? And you being young, as a young man, you telling your boys, "Hey man, I smashed such and such." You know what I'm saying? I done did this. It's almost like an accomplishment, right? Not knowing that you're literally communicating, right, on a spiritual level with this woman, right? On a spiritual level with this woman, right? Let's see what else the brother says.
All right. Let me just start because I kind of left off. The sex is just at top. Sex is not just physical. Sex is transfer. Sex is exchange. Sex is energy passing from one soul to another. Every woman you sleep with leaves something inside you. Every man a woman sleeps with leaves fingerprints on her mind. Some people you sleep with will elevate you. Some will drain you dry. Some will make you glow. Some will destroy your focus completely.
See that? So, and this is how you see it a whole lot in those movies. Girl, you glowing, right? Oh, you did this, right? Or, hey, you've been falling off at work. You know what I'm saying? What where your mind at? What you focus on? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Some will destroy your focus completely. Let me show you the reality many people hide. Sex connects your spirit before it touches your skin. Before your bodies even meet, there is an invisible attachment happening if her heart is dark, confused, or broken. She will transfer it into your life without speaking a word. This is why some men wake up from sex feeling weak, empty, or depressed. You did not sleep with her body. You slept with her burdens.
See that? You slept with her burdens. Right? So now everything is going wrong in your life. Right? You don't have fun. This one night you don't have fun, right? Thinking you done did something, and you go back next day, you late for work, your boss on your head like he ain't never been before. Right? You start now, some even worse. Hey, you may lose your job. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. Just we talking about what we would consider, the world would consider bad energy, right? But you're not knowing that you connected with this bad energy spirit, right? Through a woman or through a man. Now things are just going, it's haywire. You're not even understanding why, right? Because you're with someone that you're not supposed to be with. This is not who you're tied to. This is why the Most High told you, you cleave unto your wife, not other people's wives, not people that you're not going to take care of, right? You cleave unto your wife. Wives, you cleave unto your husband, right? Go ahead.
Hold on one second. I got you. All right. Deep intimacy makes you addicted to the wrong person. Sex releases a hormone that bonds you emotionally. If the person is wrong for your destiny, your body will still lie you. No, lock in. Your body will still tie you to them. This is how people stay in relationships they know are killing them.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what happens, right? You like all of us know two people that should not be together. All of us know.
God.
Right? All of us know for a fact, like, hey, y'all don't never get along. Right? But what's tying them together? It's the sex.
God.
It's literally you're literally staying with somebody because you enjoy that much, but you're suffering everywhere. All right, go ahead.
All right. A deep intimacy. Hold on, I'm selecting right. Deep. Their body is all right. Their body is in love. Their mind is suffering. Sex opens your weaknesses. Deep intimacy, you start revealing secrets, plans, and dreams you were supposed to protect. That is when manipulation starts.
Go ahead.
A person who has access to your body can easily access your mind.
And that's 100% true. Look at Samson and Delilah. Right? Perfect example. That was literally, she had access to his body, then she got access to his strength, which is the keeping of the commandments. Right? And she knew that he was a Nazirite. She knew that he couldn't cut his hair. So what did she do? Right? So she had that access to his body. She had access to his mind. It took her a minute, but eventually she still got it. Right? And the very next line, read that.
This is why many powerful men fall through sex.
See that? Samson, go ahead.
Their guard drops. Sex transfers habits and attitudes.
Mm-hmm.
You start thinking like them.
Mm-hmm.
You start behaving like them. You may even start battling the same addictions, fears, and emotions they carry.
Yeah, and in some cases, some people even say, hey, you starting to look like this person. You done been with him so long, y'all kind of look alike. Right, but go ahead.
It is not magic. It is exchange. That is why people say you become part of whoever you sleep with.
Mm-hmm.
Sex can block your focus and clarity. Some partners drain you, after sleeping with them. You lose motivation. You lose fire. You lose direction. Your goals disappear. Your purpose weakens. You start making stupid decisions.
All the time. Go ahead.
All because you shared your body with someone who was not aligned with your destiny. Sex creates soul ties you cannot break easily. A soul tie does not need love. It only needs contact. You can hate someone and still feel attached to them because of sex.
Mm-hmm.
This is why some people keep going back to someone who is destroying them. The intimacy created a rope around their mind.
Got you trapped, right? Go ahead.
Sex with the wrong person delays your destiny. Some people carry confusion, stagnation, bad luck, and emotional poison. Once you sleep with them, you start swimming in the same water. Your money slows down, your peace disappears, your progress becomes shaky, not because God is punishing you, because your bed is punishing you. Final word: protect your energy, protect your body, protect your future. Deep intimacy is not a joke. It is not entertainment. It is not recreation. Sex can build you. Sex can break you. Sex can elevate you. Sex can bury you. Choose who enters your life wisely. If you want more of hard realities, follow Scorch Clarity for content that shakes your mind and wakes your destiny.
All right. So I agree 100% with what that brother was saying. Right? 100%. Right? So with that, let's go to the book of Tobit. Right? I'm going to type in KJV. Let me make sure that this. So let's start at I'm on chapter 7, and let's start at verse 9.
All right, this is the book of Tobit, chapter 7 and verse 9. Then said Tobias to Raphael, brother Azarias, speak of those things of which thou didst talk in the way, and let this business be dispatched. For it is meet that thou shouldest marry my daughter. Nevertheless, I will declare unto thee the truth.
All right, so Raguel is literally going to literally let him know, right, what happened previously with his daughter, right? He's going to communicate. We're going to see him communicate to Tobias. We're going to see Tobias listen and understand, and then we're going to see what Tobias does, right, after they both agree, right? So let's go.
All right. I have given my daughter in marriage to 7 men, who died that night they came in unto her. Nevertheless, for the present be married. Tobias said, I will eat nothing here till we agree and swear one to another. Raguel said, then take her from henceforth according to the manner, for thou art her cousin, and she is thine. And the merciful Yahweh give you good success in all things.
Mm-hmm.
Then he called his daughter Sarah, and she came to her father. And he took her by the hand and gave her to be wife to Tobias, saying, behold, take her after the law of Moses, and lead her away to thy father.
Right? So they, in verse 12, he says, hey, I'm not eating nothing until we agree, right, and swear to one another, right? So he had an agreement with his father or his father-in-law, right? So now let's go. We'll go to the very next chapter, right? So after they had touched and agreed, after he heard what happened beforehand, right? Now let's see what he did, right? We can start right at verse 1.
All right, this is the book of Tobit, chapter 8 and verse 1. And when they had supped, they brought Tobias in unto her. As he went, he remembered the words of Raphael, and he took the ashes of the perfumes, and put the heart and the liver of the fish thereupon, and made a smoke therewith.
Mm-hmm.
The witch smelled when the evil spirit had smelled. He fled into the utmost parts of Egypt, and the angel bound him.
Right? See that? So in this moment, it was like Tobias created some type of sacrifice, so to speak, right? And you see what he did, right? He just to keep the evil spirits away, right? This is what he did. Put the heart and the liver of the fish, right, on in the ashes, right? The ashes of the perfume, and he made a smoke therewith, right? So go ahead.
Hey, real quick, just think about it. By us not listening and comprehending what Raphael was trying to tell him, you know, Israel is great of not listening to that.
Mm-hmm.
We would have heard someone say, hey, go grab some ashes and put some perfumes and put the heart and the liver and the fish thereupon and make a smoke. We're going to be like, man, that's ain't anybody about to do all that.
Okay.
So we already just dismissed the whole thing. Mm-hmm. No understanding, but we dismiss everything what we don't understand. But see, when you do listen to wise men, you know what I'm saying? Because he could have dismissed it. He could have also dismissed what Ragu was reported to him, like, shit, she been with 7 dudes and they died.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that ain't gonna happen to me.
Exactly. You could have been like, I'm out. But you gotta understand, when you comprehend things, comprehension also leads forth to patience. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It brings forth patience and wisdom and understanding. That's how, if you continue to walk in this truth, when you understand the laws, it's based on, once you comprehend the laws, it equals to patience. It also brings you out of trouble on a lot of things which your flesh will want you to do, but your spirit removes anything that's going to make you fall off the law, as long as you stay committed and comprehend to the law. Okay. I just want to add that.
Okay.
All right, so let me go back to, we're on 3, right?
Yep.
All right, verse 3. The witch smelled when the evil spirit had smelled. He fled into the utmost parts of Egypt, and the angel bound him. Mm-hmm. And after that, they were both shut together. Tobias rose out of the bed and said, Sister, arise, and let us pray that Yahweh would have pity on us. Mm-hmm. Then began Tobias to say, Blessed art thou, O Yahweh of our fathers, and blessed is thy holy and glorious name forever. Let the heavens bless thee and all thy creatures.
All right, now, which brother, right? And y'all can put it in the chat, and I'm gonna check it when we done with the class, right? Which any of you brothers is gonna pray before you about to have sex? Right? Ain't none of us praying, right? But after reading that post, that how the brother broke everything down, right? It's something that we probably should do, right? And I'm not saying like soon as you in the midst of it, right? Soon as you're in the midst of it, like, oh, just break out in prayer, right? It's you know what I'm saying? Not unless the spirit move you to do it. You know what I'm saying? But hey, when you literally, it could be your prayer in the morning. You know what I'm saying? You wake up in the morning, you send prayers and thanks up to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? It could be a prayer before you go, when you go to sleep that night. Maybe you don't do nothing, right? But it could just be a prayer moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna be with your wife, you know, at another point in time, right? So why not send up prayers for that? You know what I'm saying? Why not send up prayers for that? You need it after seeing how the brother broke everything down and how everything makes sense, and why we deal with a whole lot. We be wondering why we say, man, this dude crazy, or this female, they crazy. It's because you had different people throughout your lifetime. A lot of us ain't come into this truth as virgins. So we got a lot of bodies tied to us, and those bodies have spirits. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes those things start to come up. Sometimes the spirits that she might have with her is fighting with the spirits that you got in you. And you didn't take the time to pray those things away. You didn't take the time to fast and get those things out of you or away from you. Right? So they lie dormant until it's time for them to rise up and fight with each other. So this is why you should pray, right? This is why you should pray before sex. But go ahead.
Hey, I say after, me personally, I could be honest, I could do it after. I haven't never thought before, to be honest. But be thankful for it. Be like, oh man, because hey man, the Most High is a genius when he created women and he made men and women to have sex. Man, it's like that is like the most stress relief. That is the more relaxing. It's the more man, it's like it's the most connection you really can get anything that's close to communication, because that is bodily communicating, right? So, man, that is like for real, man. All praise to the Most High, I swear, because you could be sick and you can feel better from having sex, man. So the Most High is a genius for what we do it, but we abuse it. When we abuse it, then we don't have the comprehension what sex really is. You know what I'm saying? We don't look at it as medicine. We don't look at it as it's a healer. We don't look at it as a stress relief. We just look at it as just a pleasure only. If you look at it that way, then that's what all you're going to get. You're not going to understand it. You don't comprehend what sex really is. So, nah, man. Like, hey, I never started. I never did the prayer in the beginning, but I do be like, oh, praise the Most High. Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
Okay.
Yes. So, where we at, man?
Verse 6.
All right, verse 6. Thou madest Adam and gavest him Eve, his wife, for an helper and stay. Of them came mankind. Thou hast said, it is not good that man should be alone. Let us make unto him an aid like unto himself. And now, O Lord, I take not this my sister for lust, but uprightly.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, mercifully ordain that we may become aged together. And he said with him, Amen. So they slept both that night, and Ragu arose and went and made a grave.
All right, so we don't have to keep going because Ragu, he thought he was dead. He like, man, I don't think he made it. You know, because he had other men that he gave his daughter away to, and they didn't make it, right? So in his mind, he already had doubt, right? But Tobias, listen to what he said, right, in chapter 7. He says, I'm not going to eat no food until we touch and agree, right? So it shows you that Tobias was alert. He was listening to what he was saying, right? He didn't just throw it to the wayside, right? He could have, but he didn't, right? He was a man of understanding, and he took that in, right? And once he took it in, he understood why I need to put this heart and the liver and the fish, right? And made the smoke therewith to keep the evil spirits away. And then on top of that, I'm also going to add prayer, right? So he got a double barrier up. You know what I'm saying? Like the evil spirit can't even get past that smell, but then he definitely ain't getting past the Most High. You know what I'm saying? So it's just I bring this out just to go to show that sex is a communication as well, right? And then just one little small nugget. I want y'all to know, read verse 7, right?
All right, verse 7. And now, O Lord, I take not this my sister for lust, but uprightly.
All right, so I just wanted to point that out because it also made me think about Abraham, right? It made me think about Abraham when he was with Pharaoh, and he letting his wife know, right? Because a lot of people, for whatever reason, they say Abraham was a liar in that situation, right? They said that Abraham lied to Pharaoh or whatever. But when you read this, it actually goes to show you that he didn't lie, right? Because even though he told his wife to tell him, "Hey, you're my sister," right? He didn't lie. He didn't lie. She didn't lie, right? Your wife is your sister, right? In Yahweh and in the Most High, right? It's not your sister because it's a law that permits you from being with your sister, right? So if any of you brothers and sisters ever get caught up in a conversation like that, if you haven't already known, right, this is just more confirmation. That's it, right? All right. So one more thing, because I'll be remiss, and I waited to the end of the class to bring this out, right? I gotta touch on it because I'm feeling compelled to. So not Sirach, Ecclesiastes 7:7.
All right, this is the book of Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
All right, so I'm bringing this out, right? Because everybody, if they're not, I'm not fully equipped with the whole story of what happened, but I'm sure everybody heard about Carmelo, right? Carmelo Anthony, him getting that sentence, so on and so forth, right? I want to show this wickedness that this guy came out and now has he's spoken, right? So of course we already knew that they was racist, right? So this is just a video. It's gonna piss y'all off, right? It's gonna piss y'all off. That's why I had him read that scripture. So we're gonna see what this little evil devil really had to say, right? In the response after the fact, right? So let's go.
CB, as I have been telling y'all from the beginning, this case was about race. This right here is Austin Metcalf's dad, Jeffrey Charles Metcalf. This man was on a Proud Boys podcast last night. He let his racism come on out. There's no hiding now. This is how we know that race played in what happened to Carmelo Anthony. These people are racist. This is how they talk. This is how they really feel. Your child was a bully.
We're very well-rounded, very diversified. We don't see color. We're not racist. I'm like God. God doesn't see color. Justice doesn't see color. Hate doesn't see color. Love doesn't see color. If you put on those glasses and you see color as an individual, you need to look in the mirror. You need to reevaluate.
I hate that. That's how you know all racist people say that. I don't see color. I mean, let me know you're racist.
No one asked you to say
that. All right, tell me you racist without saying it. That's how you do it.
Muzzles off, and all you people, I'm telling you up front right now. This is a warning. Karma's a bitch. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I don't have to come after you. It's going to take care of itself. People are going to see you for who you really are now. Do you teach them that racism is okay? Do you teach them? Do you program your kids to hate, to kill? From day one, I said this was never about race. Please don't make it about race and don't politicize it. And what did you do? You chose both. You have embarrassed your own culture and race. You guys, you got a patent on that shit. And the only people that's going to change it are you. Don't blame the white person because we can't change it. But you're going to blame the white person for every fucking thing else. We're the bad ones. We're the one that held you down. Free speech doesn't guarantee you safety. Perfect example. Charlie Kirk, a man who I admired, looked up to. You know why? Because he could fight with words and logic. He didn't need fists, guns, or knives. No. Some people called him racist. Some people call me racist. I've been disrespected by so many people, so many times, while I've had to sit here and take it. I'm going to tell you right now, Charleston White, you think you're funny? We'll see who's laughing. You people hang your hat on the dumbest shit I've ever seen. I got a new name for Mello, okay? Because he was such a little boy y'all were trying to portray. How about Watermelon Felon? How's that one strike you?
Yeah, he's not racist.
Con. Yeah, he ain't racist. He don't see color. Right? But you come up. Con. All right. And this lets you know, like, this kind of communication, it lets you know who somebody is. If you never thought that that Esau, right, was the so-called white man in today's time, if this don't solidify it, I'm sorry. Because I don't see no Vladimir Putin doing nothing crazy, right? He mainly responded, he trying to protect his country, while these devils is going over there doing what they doing, right? But again, surely oppression maketh the wise man mad. So let's see what else, right? He done called the young brother a watermelon felon, right? Already referring to the saying that niggas love watermelon, right? Let's keep going.
Guilty. Prison. You were wrong. admit it. But no, what do you do now? Oh, there was no black jurors. You know why? Because you can't be unbiased, you dumb shits. If you answer the question, I can't send a black man to jail because he's black, you're not getting on the jury. You're so unintelligent, you can't even fill out a form correctly. You don't even know who your fucking daddy is because 78% of you don't have your father in the home anymore. You got baby mamas running around with 8 kids so they can get EBT cards to feed you all.
Wow.
Anybody who doesn't work, who wants free government handouts, who wants to live in a socialistic society, move to fucking Russia. This is America. Be respectful of this country. We have many people who have fought and died for this country so you can run your mouth. Those people who sign up voluntarily to defend your rights so you can run your mouth, show them respect. You don't kneel for the national anthem. You respect that flag. You don't like this country? Guess what? You're free to leave. I'll even get you a fucking plane ticket. If you don't love this country and you're not patriotic, you have the free will to go somewhere else. So don't complain when shit doesn't go your way. Don't bitch because Trump's president because you didn't vote. You're going to support someone who does something against the law. You're encouraging and saying it's okay because he's a certain color. Oh, you've got more melanin than me. Ooh, so you get more privileges, more entitlement? Because 400 years ago, someone actually sold you to us and we took you over here and put you to work. And then we had a civil war to free your ass. And now you want to talk shit? Oh, I've been so oppressed. You couldn't even vote 1960. Look how far you've come. Look at all the free shit we give you. You're not oppressed. You're fucking entitled. You know what DEI stands for? Yeah. Means I don't have to be fucking qualified. I just have to be a certain color, or race, or gender. Whose bright ass idea was that?
Let me know in the comments.
See that? Read this again.
Hold on, man. Hold on. That's why, man, I can't wait for Yahweh Shah to return. That's all. Simple as that.
Okay.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the.
See that? So if that don't piss you off, right? And the crazy thing is when I'm not one to really go through a whole bunch of comments, but I've seen some comments with profiles with that look like so-called black people, and they're literally agreeing with this dang on devil, right? It's just a damn shame. It's a damn shame, and there's no need to get irate to go look for this guy to try to take him out, because one scripture that he did quote, right? Vengeance is the Most High's, right? So, however, the Most High choose to take vengeance on that devil and his people, that's how the Most High gonna do it at the end of the day, right? But I just had to show that because it pissed me off, right? I seen that today, and I just threw it in. I'm like, I'm gonna play it at the end just in case they try to clip this class and cut it off or whatever. So I wanted to bring that out, man. Just to
hold on before you close it out. Go to verse 9 real quick, man. Because like what you just said, like, hey, we don't need to get angry. It says it right there in verse 9.
Okay, so verse 9 it says, "Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry."
Why? Because I can say the same thing. Vengeance is the Most High's. So no matter what. That's why I said earlier, I can't wait for the Most High. Why? Because I ain't gonna be able to do nothing. Right? This ain't our kingdom for right now. Right? So right now we got to be patient. This is what is it? Revelations 9 when it says this is for the faith and the patience for the saints or something like that.
Yeah, 9:13, I think.
So this is why you don't have to be angry, because this is when those that put us in captivity, they're going to go into captivity, and those that kill with the sword must be killed with the sword, right? So we're going to be patient with that thing. As long as we focus on the commandments and laws, ain't no need to be angry anymore, right? We can see and see what it is. We can be angry, but not hold on to it, right? Because we're going to give it to the Father. What we need to do is pray. Pray for the judgment for what needs to be done on this place. Continue.
For anger resteth in the bosom of fools.
Right. So what you gonna do? You gonna go out and start going and shooting like them, going to kill them, and you ain't gonna last. You're gonna get killed. This is part of your punishment. This is part of our punishment. So we gotta hear them say what they need to say, talk how they want to talk, lock us up how they want to lock us up. But guess what? This is going to end. And when it ends, vengeance is the Most High. And guess what? We're part of that vengeance. That's simple as that, man.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna close out with this. Colossians chapter 4, read verse 5 and 6.
All right, this book of Colossians chapter 4, starting at verse 5.
Actually, Salaki, start at verse 2. Let's start at verse 2.
Colossians chapter 4 and verse 2. Continue in prayer and watch in the same with thanksgiving. With all prayer, Salaki, with all praying also for us, that Yahweh will open unto us a door of utterance to speak the mystery of Yahushua, for which I am also in bonds.
All right, so that's what we need to. That's what we need to be praying for as well, right? So that we able to keep on speaking, right, the mystery of Yahushua, which is repentance, right, to the Israelites, the 12 tribes, not to the whole world, right? Because that's the most important thing. Even with all of this wickedness going on, you had Carmelo Anthony getting sentenced to what he got sentenced for. You had other people that we've seen in the past of their ethnicity that literally gets off or gets a lesser sentence for the same thing, right? Getting 10 years, right? And then you see just yesterday out here in Michigan, that cop in Warren that ran into those brothers and killed them both, right? He was not guilty on all charges, which is crazy.
And that was down the street from my house.
Yeah. Right? Not guilty on all charges. Now, at the end of the day, you still killed 2 people. Regardless, even though it's coming out, anytime it comes out saying that they're drunk, right? They was drinking and driving, they was driving with no license, things of that nature. Of course, they're gonna chalk it up like that. They make the rules. So they're gonna chalk it up like that. But at the end of the day, at minimum, you should have driving drive and endangering drive, whatever however you say it, right? Driving recklessly. That at minimum should be on there. But when it says guilty, not guilty of all charges, it just lets you know what they think about us. They don't value our lives. All right, so we got to pray unto the Most High that He continues that door, continues to open that door, so we can preach the repentance of our people, because that's the only thing that's going to change. That's the only thing that's going to change everything that's happening. All right, so go ahead.
With all right, verse 4. That I may make it manifest as I ought to speak, walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time.
Right, man. We got to take advantage of this time. Right? We got to walk in wisdom to them that are without the wisdom and without the knowledge. And we got to take advantage of the time that the Most High gives us. Right? So this is why it's very, very important for brothers to continuously make classes, right, on a weekly basis, right, and however often you can do them. Right? We got to take advantage. We got to redeem all this time that the Most High give us in order to give our people the words of wisdom, the words of knowledge on how to be with one another, keeping commandments, so on and so forth. Right? Because it's not all just about knowing all the commandments. Right? You got to have charity. You got to be sincere. Right? You got to know how to keep the commandments. You got to know when to keep the commandments. So we need all of these things. Right? Go ahead.
All right. Walking with verse 6. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how you ought to answer every man.
All right, so you got to know how to communicate with every person. You got to see where they are, right? You have to understand where they are. And even if you can't, right? Because you're not going to be able to connect with every single person, right? But this is why you have a body, right? Some people may connect with this brother more. Some people may connect with this sister more, right? Some people may know how to do this particular thing more than the other. And you connect with that person in their mastery, right? So this is why your speech should always be with grace, because you never know where somebody is at, right? Not only does it have to be grace, it has to be seasoned with salt, meaning it has to have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, on what to say, when to say it, how to say it, that you can answer every man, right? And I'll land my plane there. If you want to add anything.
Nah, good class, brother. Good class.
Come. Right, so hey, all praise to the Most High, Yahweh, Most High willingness. Y'all was edified, right? Because it definitely helped me out. You know what I'm saying? The Most High willing, I could, integrate a lot of those steps into understanding whoever it is that I'm conversating with at that time. You know what I'm saying? And whoever it is that we're teaching. Any questions that brothers, sisters get, or whatever the case may be, we can use those things to help to help answer questions, right? So I do want to show this. It's one more thing. All right. So I don't know, I put it on here. Yeah, right here. So y'all see this flyer, right? We doing it's our second annual, right? Friends and Family Fun Day. It's July 26th, starting at 12. You can definitely, is the email, did we get the email on there? If not, you can email, right? You can RSVP through the email by the 19th of July, right? The email is loidetroit12@gmail.com. It's 15 per household, 10 for an individual, right? It's going to be a bunch of, games, music, food, things of that nature. We're trying to have a good time. No folly, you know what I'm saying? So we know that we extending it to friends and family. So it may be some that's not in the truth, right? So we definitely gonna be on guard. Y'all don't have to worry about, too many people acting crazy. And even if they do, we getting them up out of there, right? So it's definitely gonna be a good time. Last year, sisters did an excellent job, a beautiful job. All of the sisters here in Detroit on putting together the games, the itinerary, the timely in a timely fashion. You know what I'm saying? It was fun. The adults participated in a few of the games. So it's definitely an amazing time. So we look forward to seeing all of those that can make it. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get this flyer out here and on Facebook so brothers and sisters can push it and push the word out to other people. All right. As far as any other announcements, I think we're good. You wanna got anything else you want to say, like before we end it?
Just want to say, man, again, to our blessing, and I pray that everybody, man, take advantage of these lessons. Again, just don't hear the lessons, listen to the lessons. As Israel, we the type of people that we don't support one another like we should. And then you wonder why people don't support you. Remember, whatever you put out, the Most High make sure you get it back in return. So understand, like, hey, it's all about trying to get out of here, right? And every class has wisdom in it. Rather, if you don't think that fits your standards in life, each class has some type of wisdom, right? It's all about reaching the people. And if it ain't for you, you may hear it and you may be able to give it to somebody that need it, and this is why it's important. So again, take advantage of what we have, because one day when there's no more street teaching, when there's no more internet, and if we're still here and all hell break loose, you're going to wish you had a class to listen to. You're going to wish that you can see the brothers on the corner. So take advantage of what we have, and not just L.O.I. Anybody, right? Go just listen to the laws, because we Israel before we became a camp. So therefore, just listen and get some edification, so we can pray each other out of this hellhole. So that's all I got, man.
Let me put this back on the screen. As far as location, we're not gonna put the location on the flyer. We definitely give it out to those that RSVP. But Elder Zahab did make a great point as far as at the bottom of it, it shows you we got of course we accept cash if we can meet you in person, or the Cash App is $L.O.I capital L.O.I. Detroit with the capital D, right? That's the Cash App that you can, do that as well.
Also, you can Zelle. You can Zelle also to our account. So we'll put that on there also, but this is just right here. You can see the flyer. We'll add those on there so people can see. You can Zelle us and you can L.O.I. Detroit us.
Con, all praises. All right, so yeah, with that being,
I miss L.O.I. Detroit us. Cash App us.
Con. All right, y'all. With that being said, hey, I pray that y'all brothers and sisters definitely enjoy the rest of y'all night and up until the morning, right? You got priests coming on in the morning, bringing another fire lesson out. So y'all stay tuned, right? 10 a.m. Again, we got classes all week long. Monday after, and then Monday at noontime, right? Between noon and 2 p.m. Monday as well, Monday night, which is actually Tuesday, right? With the Elder Corral. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? So we almost got every day of the week. Look out for Sham too, right? On Tuesdays, right? He there on Tuesdays when he can do it. You know what I'm saying? So we almost got every day of the week. Just hope Most High willing, we can. Again, it's just important. It's important to be in some kind of class at some point, and we need them for just watching all of this, the pressing stuff that we done had to see for this week. Just the news from that the young brother Carmelo Anthony alone, it can piss you off for the whole week, right? But we gotta endure to the end, like the scriptures say. And hey, we gotta deal with our punishment. So with that, I say shalom to the people. Shalom, shalom. All praise to the Most High.
From 100.
Yeah. God had his hand on me since before the womb. I didn't know what that meant until I read the Bible.
Amen.
I didn't know what that meant until I read the Bible. He had his hand on me since before the womb. You think I started in the womb? He had his hand on me since before the womb. Like, this is going to do this. He's going to make this happen. He's going to touch this person. He's going to touch these people. He's going to... Yo, I am God's child. I am God's child. I am God's child.
Yeah! The gyms are closed. I gotta get this aggression out. Let's go. I just pride myself as cold with a conscience. Can't roll with the nonsense. Don't mistake the cover of the book for its contents. I might show you kindness, swear with the piranhas. Things that we forget and to come back and remind us. Like we all have a past we want to put behind us. Designed to be good, but evil always seems to find us. A man can only change the things he acknowledges. Plus this beat is flame, but skills over politics won't be the same. What really has me stressing out, the gyms are closed, so I can't get this aggression out. Before we get the promises, there must be offensive. The Bill Gates of hell won't prevail against us. They don't really want, but we speak it to them. They don't really want, but we teach it to them. They don't really want, but we give it to them. We got the whole package, baby. They don't really want, but we speak it to them. They don't really want, but we teach it to them. They don't really want, but we give it to them. We got the whole package, baby. Say my prayers. Thank God for blessing me. My life's an open book. Could that be why they're testing me? Maybe everything I do is done out of necessity. Stock is on the rise. I think you should invest in me. It's not strange. I'm money like blockchain. Except the things in life that I cannot change. Chant down Babylon. Payback is coming. I ain't LeBron James. You thought I came back for nothing? The game is canceled in the blink of an eyelash. Flow is sick. Grab your N95 mask. The new normal. It gets even scarier. All black and white. There is no gray area. Plain as day. We got the whole package, baby. Competition, their rhymes are all average. And that's my 16. Nothing else to say, y'all. 5G raps, find me under the radar. They don't really want, but we speak it to them. They don't really want, but we teach it to them. They don't really want, but we give it to them. We got the whole package, baby. They don't really they say never sleep. People you could never please. Words of blue checks that Twitter gives celebrities. Sometimes it's commercial, sometimes herbal remedies. Guaranteed to be 100 like centipedes. I claim my innocence, although in a sense I ain't perfect, I'm trying to cleanse my innocence. Not alone, I'm assisted by some instruments. And when I'm done, I'm on to doing bigger things. No holes barred, take no prisoners. Aim for the sky, potential is limitless. Before we get the promises, there must be a fence. The Bill Gates of hell won't prevail against